Two Middle-Aged Men in Cleveland, episode 127. Flying by. Absolutely flying by. Oral Hershiser, Ken Dorkowitz, getting ready for the holidays, counting the money I don't have.
Yeah.
As we move forward here. Do you want to do the roster jersey game now? Wait till the end?
I just have one observation about the whole, spending money we don't have on the holidays.
Please.
Last year, my son Fritz tried to tell me that Santa wasn't real and mom and dad are, they buy the gifts and they're Santa. And I called my wife and I said, Fritz here thinks that you and I can afford to do Christmas and buy all these gifts for the kids. I think we laughed for 10 minutes. So there you go. That kind of squelched that thought.
I love it.
Number 27. Well, obviously the current one would be Kareem Hunt.
Well done. Can you think of anyone else?
Hold on. With the Browns?
Yes.
No.
Tom Darden.
Oh my gosh. Yes, absolutely.
Got another one for you too. You'll remember this one. Al Gross.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah. 100% Al Gross.
How about the former team we used to call the Tribe? You got a shot with a couple of these.
27. That's not Jarrett Wright, is it?
Well done, sir.
Oh,
I must say you are top notch. Okay. Along with Herb Score.
Wouldn't have gotten that one.
Mel Hall.
Throw to first back safely.
Mel Hall, who wore the batting gloves in his back pockets because he was waving goodbye to the homers. Always loved that.
Say that again?
He wore batting gloves in the back of his pants, in his pockets.
Yeah.
When he would hit a home run, he could wave goodbye to the ball.
I see. So he had a second set of
yeah.
Okay.
Miguel De Leon. I know that's one of your favorite players.
Oh my gosh. When did he play?
He was in the 80s.
Okay.
Lonnie Chisenhall. I know you love him.
Lonnie Chisenhall, sure. I got him.
He played more on the bench, hurt, than he did on the field. That's a sad thing. Brian Shaw, who had 2 spurts with us.
Yeah.
Long spurts, actually. Josh Donaldson. Lucas Giolito. I know that's one of your favorite players, too.
He's a duster.
We're not even going to do the Cavs. There's 3 guys I've never heard of. Tony Dumas. Any idea? No. Dwayne Jones.
No.
Bufandu Kabagala.
Excuse me?
Yes, played in 2021. Don't remember him.
I think I had some of that at the restaurant the other
night. I know. Then you took a shot.
Yes.
You were better.
Do you know what a duster is? I just learned this 2 days ago.
A duster.
Yeah, a duster.
I thought I did. Maybe I don't.
It's a player
I'll get an explanation.
Sits on the bench so much they collect dust.
Oh, okay. I did that. Yeah. That was a kneeler.
Okay. All right.
It was a kneeler.
Well, I guess whatever works. Yeah. I have a technology experience to share here.
Okay.
So my oldest son has these assignments where it's on the computer and there's like 5 paragraphs. You read them and then you have to answer questions to understand, make sure that the kid is comprehending. He used to love to read. Then he got older. So he's 12 now. And so he doesn't really like to do these. So I have to do them with him and make sure, check his answers, make sure he's doing them. So we get the computer out. We got the first one. We're ready to go. And I'm like, okay, well, let's read it. And, like 20 seconds of silence goes by because I have to read it too. So I know if the answers are right. And then he's like, wait a minute, hold on, stop. I'm like, what? He says, just hang on, give me the computer. He takes the computer, opens another web browser, highlights and copies the text, and copies it into this new window. This is Speechify, and he copies it in there so that it reads the text to him so he doesn't have to read.
Oh, geez.
How about that?
That's crazy.
And then as if that's not enough, you can pick what voices you want. Like you want a male English accented voice, you want a female French voice, whatever you want. But they also have celebrities. My son chose Snoop Dogg.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
He's smokeless now. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I am aware of that. Yes, I've seen that. Yes, he gave it up. So, but yeah, so my
Snoop Dogg.
kid is learning from Snoop Dogg. By the way, Snoop Dogg has, if you go on YouTube and search probably Snoop Dogg hockey, he's got some videos where he explains basic hockey. And some of the parents have shared these videos. Yeah.
Probably can't. Or can we can't share this on these airwaves?
No, I think they're clean. I just, if the coaches, if your kid doesn't understand how to play hockey from the coaches and they got to go to a YouTube video and listen to Snoop Dogg,
understand.
There's a breakdown somewhere before you get to Snoop Dogg. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah,
I understand that.
Any exciting events at Cool Beans?
The Cool Beans, yeah, we had a Christmas party. I got some stuff for you and out and about of going on. But yeah, I got a pretty good schedule coming up here as we hit the holidays. Boy,
pretty good as in
love mocha,
what does that mean?
hot chocolate, and cookies. Let me just leave it at that. They tear it up. They're really enjoying it. So we got a lot of time with our friends at Cool Beans coming up here.
Is that code for something else?
No, it's literally what it is.
Okay, yeah. I just want to make sure.
I wouldn't do that on this podcast.
Okay, that's the Patreon version, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Well, coming up on this show, we have a misspeak from, you want to guess, Ken?
I'm going to go with maybe the president.
Yes. How did you know? Shocking. We actually have two of them. We have news about a young lawyer, a lottery winner, a man with a unique way of riding a bike, and a construction company with a unique way of moving a building.
And now, a woman's perspective.
What makes a man think about a dinner by candlelight? A power failure.
This has been a woman's perspective.
Ted Overachievers, we have a cyclist from Alberta who rode 80.95 miles on his bike without using his hands. Wow. Amazing. Robert Murray, of course, he got a Guinness Book of World Record. The ride took him 5 hours and 37 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Wow. He went 80 miles in 5 hours. Yeah, that sounds about right. Murray said he used his hands to massage his legs when they fell asleep during his record attempt. The only time that my legs fall asleep, sometimes when I use the restroom.
Well, yeah, as you get older, you're in there so long. Yeah.
Well, that's the problem.
Yeah. I heard, I don't know if this is true or not, as part of his rehab, that Deshaun Watson was riding next to the guy offering to massage his legs for him too. I don't know if that's true or not.
It could be. I mean, he's rehabbing. That could be good for his rehab.
There you go. Yeah. And the other observation I have, he couldn't make it another 5/100ths of a mile to get to around. Now you got to stop at 80.95. Now couldn't get to 81.
Well, here's the thing. At least the guy's honest.
Well,
right?
I suppose.
Didn't make up the number. He's exact. I like that.
We also want to send out congratulations to Peter Park, not Peter Pan, Peter Park. California. He was a 17-year-old law clerk in the Tulare County DA's office. The 17-year-old took the state's bar exam in July and just found out he passed.
Oh my gosh.
Park is now 18 and has been sworn in as the state's youngest practicing attorney. He started high school at 13 and graduated from law school earlier this year.
That's some brainwaves there. That's pretty impressive. Good for him. Well, I might need Peter Park at some point.
Yeah. You, really?
You never know.
Think you might be running afoul of someone?
You never know.
Okay.
Well, if I'm in California, I'm calling him.
I heard, I don't know if this is true. I heard Peter Park picked a peck of pickled peppers.
I
Boy,
bet
I
he did.
pictured that, didn't I?
I bet. Yeah, you did. But sometimes that happens.
That's how it rolls.
50%.
That's those clearly our speech abilities are not overachievers, but those folks are.
Said we were out and about. Well, Northeast Ohio, Minnesota, Indianapolis,
Wow.
and obviously the Medina area for this past couple weeks. So a couple interesting stories. Bear with me. I won't take a lot of time, but these are some interesting ones. I had the opportunity to go to the Michigan, Iowa Big Ten Championship in Indianapolis 2 weekends ago, where I went to Lucas Oil Stadium. I'll ask, have you been to that stadium before?
No, I've driven by it. Looks awesome. Never been in it.
Well, it's just as awesome as it looks from the outside. It's even better on the inside. Once again, I've had this rant many a times. How do these teams have these nice stadiums with all this different stuff running around? And I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, and I got to go to the Rock Hall, the Science Center, a shipyard, or the lake by my stadium. That's it. That's all I'm going to tell you. And by the way, the stadium in Indianapolis,
Dome.
yeah, but also could be open air. It's
Oh,
both.
well.
Yeah, both.
Hey, we want the elements here. We want to freeze our, what's off in January if there's a playoff game.
That place is nice. I'm a fan of that, and obviously you've heard me talk about Ford Field, so I'm not going to go on about that. There was a nice time. I sat in the Michigan area. Everybody was cordial. Boy, the game was boring. I mean, Iowa didn't even score. It was like 26-0.
Yeah.
It was as they say, that was a full pounding.
That was a good opportunity for some alcohol or some.
Yeah, you could have a drink. Yeah. Plenty.
Sure.
They love to overserve you over there. There's no they really do. They really want you to do that. I didn't do that, but you can do that.
Hey.
So I went to Queens in Bay Village. Very nice dinner. That's a cool place.
Queens?
Yeah.
I'm
highly
not
recommend
familiar.
it. Yeah,
Where's
you have to check
that?
it out. It's just over the Bay Village border.
Oh.
So not far from Detroit Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I liked it.
Right.
They converted it. It looked like an old store. It's kind of in a plaza.
Okay.
So I saw some celebrities there, but I can't say their names. So I'm not going to do that to them. Yeah,
Why
it was
is
kind of
that?
cool.
Why can you not say their names?
Well, I don't think they want me to
Oh.
mention that they were there.
Okay.
So there you
So
go.
their names, can we guess what their names rhyme with?
No,
Okay.
nope. We're not going to do that.
Okay.
But I obviously gives credibility when you see those types of people in the place. I thought that was pretty cool. So I highly recommend that.
Are these local celebrities or?
Yes, very local.
Okay.
Yes,
Very local. Okay.
very local.
All right.
I took a trip to Minneapolis. I had a work trip that I had to go on.
Yeah.
Minneapolis is nice. I saw some great places, ate some great food and all that. When's the last time you had to go through an airport? TSA.
I don't fly. I couldn't tell you the last time
No, your arms would get tired.
I don't remember the last time I flew. It's probably been 9 or 10 years.
Yeah, most of these places you get through pretty good. I don't have the pre-TSA check or whatever like a lot of people do. I let it lapse because I just don't fly as much as I do. I think I've flown 3 times this year. For me, it's not
Okay.
So I'm going back from Minnesota, Minneapolis, and of course, once again, this is kind of a rip, but I'll just be honest. There's no hub in Cleveland, so everything has to go either through Chicago or New York. It's just how it is. So my flight there was from Cleveland to go to Chicago to get to Minneapolis, and then on the way back, I went Minneapolis to Chicago to Cleveland. All of the flights were fine. I mean, the TSA line in Minneapolis, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning Central Time, so it's like 7 o'clock our time. Walk it through. Everybody's doing their thing. Walk it through. Go here. Take your belt off. Make sure you have your shoes off. Make sure you have your computer out of your bag. The whole 9 yards. Going through. I'm ready. Got my ticket. I'm good to go. Gentleman in front of me, 3 or 4 people ahead. He's on the ground tying his shoe. That's normal. That's cool. Walk up a little bit more. This guy's still on one knee, still tying his shoe. And this is like 10, 15 minutes. I'm thinking, man, he must have a bad knot or something like that.
Or maybe he's
by
tie his shoe.
Right. Maybe he needed help. I mean, I'm very good at tying shoes. I know you are too.
Did you ask to help him?
finally approached the gentleman and realized that I thought he was tying his shoe. No,
tying his shoe?
He was ill.
He-
He was really ill, and
Okay.
he how do I say this? He was not doing good.
No.
He looked like he went on a bender the night before, never went to bed, and was probably still intoxicated at the airport, and just had to relieve himself. So that was an interesting time. I've never experienced that. The gentleman was doing his thing, and they came and arrested him for public intox. So
Public intox. Okay.
there you go. That was extremely interesting. So
Did you?
But I made my flight and all that stuff. So.
Did you get to hear an announcement, something along the lines of "Mop up TSA 4, mop up TSA 4"?
Which I thought I would hear, but it was all handled hush hush.
Oh,
which I thought was interesting. Which is actually what you want to do. You don't want to cause a panic. So, but yeah. So hopefully the man from Minneapolis is doing better today.
So you're saying that they don't want to say a guy puked in the third line?
No, which is what I think I'd want to have happen, like at a grocery store. But no, they don't say anything. They just kind of go about their business, and before you knew it, there were policemen there, and the guy was getting arrested. So.
And was he unruly as he was led away?
Oh no!
No!
Poor guy was.
He appreciated the help, even though it was a handcuffed help.
He bent it like Beckham, and he was not getting up. So
okay,
it's like he took a shot from Mike Tyson. He was not getting up. So yeah, he did not put up much of a fight, and the people with him had a very strange look on their faces, as you can imagine. And the one overheard one gentleman say, "I don't think we're getting on this plane." So I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm kind of a sick person. So Medina, yeah, we have some big stuff going on coming up this Saturday at Cool Beans, which I will be there. That's not what I want to tell people. We
signing autographs. 8.5.
We have the Grinch coming. The Grinch is coming to the store for pictures for like 2 hours.
Okay.
And my wonderful boss, second boss, I should say, Laura Cavey, she basically did a thing where, you needed to have a ticket so she can get an idea of how many people will be coming to this event.
Okay.
If you plan on coming,
no,
you better get there early, because there's 100 people signed up to take pictures with the Grinch.
Oh.
So all I know is that my wrists are going to be hurting real bad, because I'm going to be making some mocha, hot chocolate, and some cookies. So come on down to Medina Saturday. I think it's at 3:00. Check it out. It's also on Eventbrite. If you're on the Facebook page for Cool Beans, you'll see all the information. Super exciting. Should be great. The story's just been packed. Oh my gosh, it's insane. Which, as I enjoy it because you're super busy, and I've met so many people, and everyone's super nice. We actually had a Christmas party last night and all that. It's just a lot of fun, a lot of nice people. But oh my gosh, that is just the place to be in Medina. It cracks me up. I was there 2 days ago. It was during the day. It was like 10:00. I had to fill up a coffee, then I had a meeting and all that kind of stuff. Just packed. It's unreal. Just unreal.
Wow.
Ted, that's my out and about. Let me see if I have. No, I think that's it. Just
you got one more?
I'm gonna sound like bad dad here, but this is how we talk. So my daughter is part of a dance team, which is super exciting. She loves it. It's great. She had a performance on this past Friday in Strongsville, where they performed at the mall.
Okay.
That's cool. No problems with that at all. What a cool experience. Here's the problem.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
They performed, I repeat to you, they performed at 6:00 on a Friday evening at the Strongsville Mall.
That's not recommended.
Ted, it took me from Medina after I picked my son up for track practice. It took me 15 minutes to get to the Strongsville exit.
Yeah.
It took me 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I repeat, 30 minutes from the Strongsville exit to get to the mall.
And the mall is right off of the
It is
off of
right
the highway
there.
there.
You can
Yeah.
almost take a rock and throw it once you
Yes.
get off the 82 exit.
Yes.
I was very good. I've been really, that's one of the things I'm working on. I'm trying to control myself with patience and anger and all that fun stuff. And I did very well.
Yeah.
And I got out of the car and Riley's with me and he looks at me and he says, "This is kind of crazy." I said, "Thank you. I want to make sure I'm not the only one. This is kind of crazy." So,
Yeah.
but the performance was great. I'm excited. There's a bunch of different performances coming up. I think there's another one in Brunswick at the Recreation Center this coming Saturday that I'll be able to see her perform. It's cool. It's, we've talked about this before. It's great to see your kids excel and have fun.
100%.
Hockey. My daughter loves to dance, so it's cool. But getting to some of these events at the times that they have them during the middle of Christmas season.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
Nope. Didn't like it. I could respect it, but I don't have to like it.
There you go. Okay.
Ted, I throw the baton to you. I went for a while there. What do you got?
Well, we tried a new restaurant that's new to us restaurant. I think it's got a few locations. Chicken Ranch.
I've heard of this. Yes.
Chicken Ranch. Yeah. It's all different kind of ways to do chicken. Very good. 2 thumbs up. We were at the one on Cedar Road in University Heights. We also are a frequent flyer at Primo's Pizza in University Heights. That's an easy dinner when for a family who's active, as we are. They have an outstanding seafood pizza. It is
Really?
top drawer. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. My my one son thought he was getting a piece of cheese pizza, and he grabbed and took a bite of the seafood pizza. Said it smelled like old shoes.
That wasn't for him.
No, not
That's
for
cool.
him. So, and then this past week we had the Thornton Park hockey tournament. So I helped out and played some music and made some announcements and probably pronounced some names wrong along the way, but we had some fun and that was a good time. Had a double overtime win in the varsity championship game. Very exciting.
That's awesome. That's great.
Rocky River beat Bowling Green in the finals.
Well, the Rocky River's come a long way with their hockey program. I'll leave it at that. That's great.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. Very hard fought, well played game. Very exciting. So good time. And so if there's 80 some feet of ice, there's a chance I'll be there.
Hear your vocals.
Yes.
Do you have more games coming up in the
Oh
future?
yeah, we have a lot of games. I left out. I guess this is out and about. I mean, doesn't involve a restaurant, but we had the Christmas concert last night.
Oh, yes.
We now have fourth through eighth grade perform. So my youngest son plays. They call it playing the bells. It's a xylophone. I don't know why they say the bells, but whatever. And I turned to my wife as he's performing, and we're on the side where he is. And I said, "Does he have 2 different sticks?" She says, and this makes sense for anybody who knows us. She says, "Well, yeah, one broke and we lost the other one. The pair of the other one, we lost one." So he's got a black one and a white one, and he's performing.
Oh my gosh.
So and then my middle son played the trombone, and so they were allowed to dress up for Christmas. And he was bound and determined. He wanted to look like the elf on the shelf. So he got a Santa hat, cut off the ball on the end, and then we had to put tissue paper so it would stand up.
Okay.
So he had the elf hat. He also had reindeer antlers on the trombone as he's playing. And then my oldest son plays the baritone.
Okay.
Which is a fairly big instrument. And I'm watching, and one of the buttons or keys or whatever you want to call it is sticking. And that was just driving him nuts. The best part was when, they did this concert earlier in the day. And they have the music in front of them. he flips, and I'm taking pictures. He flips the page to the next sheet of music, and he sees the picture, and he hunches over, and he hunches over, rolls his eyes, and lays back in the chair like, oh no, not this song. I don't even remember what song it was, but it was awesome. So I'm going to hold this up for you. You can appreciate. Hold on. Here we go.
Oh, what a look. Oh, that is absolutely classic.
Oh
my God. That is
exactly
head back all the way. Not happy with that song.
So, yeah. So, as is every Christmas concert, begins with the littlest children playing hot cross buns and ends with some Christmas song. And it was great.
That is outstanding.
So there you go.
Ted, outstanding out and about. Wow. Both of us, a lot going on. And obviously, thanks for your recommendations on the restaurants. That's very cool. So
yeah.
That is outstanding. And we ask everyone during these holidays, support your local businesses, restaurants, and bars. And you too could be out and about. If you have something you want to mention to us, you also can find us on all the social medias. Let us know. Keep getting out and about. Support your business. Ted, Misspeak of the Week. Always one of our favorites. And I think it's involving a gentleman that I think we all know.
Yes.
He's our president.
He is.
Well, President Joe Biden is up again here with a dull effort.
A duel.
A duel?
Duel.
I can't read. I
here, hold on. Let me make that.
Let's do it again.
Advanced age. How's that? Is that better for you?
Perfect.
Okay.
Ted, Misspeak of the Week. Your favorite person as a misspeak. I believe you know this gentleman, President Joe Biden. I think you're familiar with him.
Yeah, I have heard of him, yes.
Well, he's up again with a dual effort. First, on Thursday, the president was in Las Vegas, great place to be, to talk about funding for passenger rail projects across the country. Take a listen.
We're investing $9 billion to replace over 1,000 Amtrak engines and cars across the country with scale-of-the-art equipment.
What are we replacing it with?
What was it?
Hold on.
Scale of the art?
No. We're investing $9 billion to replace over 1,000 Amtrak engines and cars across the country with scale-of-the-art equipment.
Scale-of-the-art equipment.
Scale of the art. I love it.
Scale of the art. I don't know. Where is that better than state of the art? Apparently.
I don't know. I'm going to start using that verbiage because it sounds impressive. Scale of the art.
Scale of the art. Well, in the same speech, he talked numbers, or at least he tried to.
On my watch, instead of Infrastructure Week, America's having infrastructure decade. Over $1.3 billion.
What was it?
How much money did they talk in there?
Over $1.3 billion. Over $1.3 billion.
Well, okay.
Oh boy.
I don't know what to say here.
Nothing. You can say nothing because that's not a real number.
And I guarantee you the correct number was on the teleprompter.
Of course it was.
I guarantee. But he threw some other numbers in there, I guess. I don't know. It's
300 billion trillion, 250 million trillion dollars.
I'm surprised he didn't call anybody a thousandaire or something like that. But all right, well, there you go. A dual effort for our Misspeak of the Week.
One of my favorite times in our segment is to talk to our two middle-aged men in Cleveland sports betting expert. And that, of course, will be John Ryan from Predictive Playbook. John, extremely interesting weekend. Congratulations on your 10-unit pick on the Giants over the Packers on Monday night. But if anyone can tell me that they, besides yourself, can do well betting the NFL, I think they're crazy. Because if you called the Bengals over the Colts, the Jets over the Titans. I don't know, the Bears over the Lions, a game that took football back about 25 years when the Vikings beat the Raiders 3-0. And by the way, if you're watching that game, I think you're a complete degenerate. And then the Bills over the Chiefs, as well as the Giants over the Packers. If you called all those games, give me a call, as I would like to sign up for your subscription. So there we go. But John, NFL, this is why they make so much money, and this is why people watch each week, because you just don't know what's going to happen.
You're absolutely right. And, I'm definitely zigging when I'm supposed to be zigging and zagging when I'm supposed to be zagging with some of these picks, including last night's win over the Giants. But, the numbers explain why that was a best bet 10-unit opportunity, because we had the Packers coming into the game on the road off of 3 consecutive upset wins. So what happens when that happens? The public gets enamored with the Packers, and, oh, my goodness, is the second coming of Aaron Rodgers. And, they're going to absolutely destroy the Giants, and the Giants have nothing to play for. And then you get these shocking upsets, but they're not shocking if you look at the numbers and the situations. And teams do get overvalued in these environments. We had several opportunities with the Jets was one of them. Trying to think who else we were on, Ken, with the we had the Bills. That was a
the Bills. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah,
but that one made me nervous because actually the world was with me on that one. That started getting a little bit frothy. Everybody wanted to bet the Bills. The line went down to pick them right before kickoff. But that game was really never in jeopardy. The Chiefs came running back in the second half, but the Bills had it under control. The Eagles, we lost, and I really was disappointed in that effort. That team has some major problems. So you have to ask yourself the question is that, we like to kind of kid around the old adage that the NFL stands for not for long. Well, we're seeing it like every single week now where there's a team that just looks like they're packing it in, and all of a sudden they look like they're playoff contenders. The Packers had it on the doorstep there. They could be 7-6 right now instead of their 6-7, along with about 6 other teams in the NFC, including 3 of the teams in the NFC South division, where the 6-7 Tampa Bay Bucks are leading that division. But nevertheless, when the line with the circa preseason, there's every single week, every single game, there's a line, and that gives you a benchmark. And whenever it moves more than 6, it adds fuel to my fire if my model is on that play. And that was exactly what happened last night with the Giants. That moved, I believe, 8 points from the preseason line. And with the combination of the model saying that the Giants were the team that should have been either pick 'em or slightly favored, gave us one heck of an opportunity. But it has been quite a run. We're 19-6 now, the last 25.
You're killing it, John. Yeah,
it's
you
really
are tearing
heating
it
up
right now. Yes.
At one point there, we did go through a pretty bad stretch. We had 1 week, I believe, Ken, we were 2-5 in the on the NFL card, and that was, I forget what week that was, but that's the whole key. When I forget what week it was, whether it's a 5-0 unbelievable Sunday, or if it's in 2-7 or 2-5 situation, or 1-5, whatever it was, that I know my head's in the right place because I'm always looking forward to the next week and not worrying about what happened the week before.
Excellent. Well, John, question for you to follow up. Well, not necessarily follow up, but kind of switch gears here. Talk about college football a little bit. It's bowl season, and a lot of excitement surrounding the playoffs and these bowl games. But with that, the added situation this year with the transfer portal, and there's like 3,000 football players that are now in the portal who, are they going to play? Are they not going to play? How does that affect the game? So from a wagering perspective, do you stay away from some of these games? Does it make you less likely to bet, more likely to bet? How do you look at that?
Well, first and foremost, it's like my experience from Wall Street. When you see the price of Apple computer today, for example, that price has everything baked into it that we think we know now and 6 months into the future. And that's the premise we all make. It's all baked into the price. So the same thing can be applied with this portal because it is chaos. It'd be impossible to identify situations where, this team had this many guys go who were 2 or 3 star players, and they're replacing them with X, Y, and Z. I don't think you'd get any betting intelligence at all, and you'd drive yourself crazy. So I presume that what the market is telling us right now, for example, I'm looking at California versus Texas Tech coming up on this Saturday. That line opened California plus 1.5. It's now plus 2.5. The total was 56.5, and now it's 57.5. Any transfer players out of both teams is baked into that number. So I tend not to worry about it because how often do you really have a starting quarterback leave from a team that did well? It doesn't happen very often. Most starting wide receivers are not likely to leave. It's usually the second, third, fourth stringers that don't feel they're getting the playing time at the likes of a Georgia or a Florida State or the top teams. It's where an elite player who's not getting the playing time moves to another team. You do have the situations with fifth-year starters getting that graduate year eligibility where they have to leave the current team they're on and go somewhere else. Penix is the perfect example. Bo Nix is the perfect example. Again, they're not likely to play that bowl game, more than likely, but the price is factored in. And, the betting community does a good job at identifying teams that are using a quarterback that wasn't the starter and so on and so forth. So I don't put much credence in who left or who's going to go.
John, sticking with, and before we get your pick here for this week, sticking with the college, I guess this is more of a selfish question on my part. I'm going to be selfish for once, Ted. There we go.
Yeah.
Looking at obviously the big 2 games, obviously the semifinal games between Texas and certainly Washington, and then Michigan, Alabama. John, I'm not looking for your picks. However, as you look at these games, is there either one of the games that you feel as though one's more favorable for betting as opposed to the other?
Well, I'll tell you the real short answer, and I'll give you the pick for everybody that's listening. I think Texas is going to win the whole thing. You have a situation where Texas is the third-ranked team, and they're favored by 4 points over the second-ranked team. So the committee said that Washington is a better team than Texas, who beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa earlier this year. Big 12 champion, playing on all cylinders right now, just destroying anybody that's been on the schedule down the stretch here. And the fact that they are favored, the market is telling you that third-ranked team is better than the second-ranked team. So I do like Texas quite a bit to win against Washington, possibly by double digits, and then go on into a rematch against the Alabama Crimson Tide, because I don't think Michigan, initially here looking at this matchup, they're a great team. I'm not taking anything away from them. But an SEC seasoned team, Alabama Crimson Tide, some guy named Saban, I think Jim Harbaugh is going to be outclassed by him. I think Alabama is going to have some wrinkles in their offense, and I see Alabama winning that game. And after all, what's the market telling you? If Alabama is the 4th-ranked team, Michigan is number 1, and Michigan's only favored by a single point, that smells funny to me. I think Alabama wins that game, and then we get what I think will be just a tremendous championship game between the Texas Longhorns and the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Oh my gosh, yeah, people would absolutely love that. And obviously here, us folks in Ohio, I don't think would be too upset not to see Michigan play in that game. I don't know. That's just a hint. Just a hint.
Yeah, I would think.
Well, John, obviously, thank you for the pick. I didn't expect that. That's certainly something I'm going to take a look at. As you look at this week's, you mentioned about the bowl game Saturday and all that, and obviously we have more NFL. Any games that jump out you as a game that maybe we should all take a look at, or you have a lean towards for this coming weekend?
Yeah, I do actually. It involves those Cleveland Browns who are, defying what everybody's saying that they can't make the playoffs. They might actually end up winning this division here. The way Baltimore was lucky to get away with that win That's one of the games we were on, Ken. If you remember, we had the Rams.
Yes.
And I thought, boy, this is looking good for a upset win, but they did cover as 7.5-point dogs. But the Chicago Bears were another dog that we had this past week that won outright against the Detroit Lions. Horrible, horrible loss there. I don't know which is worse, the Miami Dolphins, excuse me, the Miami Dolphins loss last night. I've never seen anything like that in my life, where a team is up 13 points with 3.5 minutes to go and loses. That's unbelievable. The Lions had a chance to really close in on the number 1 seed against the Bears, who are playing a lot better now. They performed miserably bad. So we have the Bears, who are looking much better than they did a month ago, going against the Cleveland Browns. The line's only 3. And I like this game up to 4 points. And it's supported by a simple betting system that betting on all teams priced between the 3s, now facing a foe that has allowed 14 or fewer points in each of their past 2 games, 63-29 with 5 pushes at 69% winning bets over the past 10 seasons. And if the foe, the Bears now is what we're talking about, had 5 or fewer drop passes in their previous game, the team went on, our team being the Browns, went on to a record of 36-13 for 74% winning bets over the last 10 seasons. So for Cleveland Brown fans, I hope I'm right. Don't hate me if I'm wrong, but I think the Browns get the job done.
John, that'd be great. And I will say this, to add to your numbers, the Cleveland Browns are 6-1 at home this year. So they played very well. And the weather, as I look at the future forecast, is supposed to be like 50 degrees. So weather shouldn't be a factor in this game, but no, that is outstanding, John. That's outstanding.
Thanks. I appreciate it. I guess it's at the end of the day, it's only outstanding if it wins. But
Well,
at least you know why you're betting on that team. It's not like throwing darts at a board and saying, well, gee, the Eagles played badly the last 3 weeks, so I think they're due. Anytime there's a word due to happen in anything that involves gambling or even investing, trading, it's a red flag, because there is nothing due to happen. It's just irrelevant.
Awesome. Well, John, can you give us, if folks want to subscribe, get more of your picks, more of your insight, more of your expertise, where do they need to go? How do they get involved?
Well, it's pretty simple. You just go to predictiveplaybook.com, have all kinds of information on the front page to help you get subscribed, payment portals, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Stripe, Zelle, pretty much have them all. And running specials, it's only $50 right now for the bowl season. And if you do sign up here from this show, then we'll throw in the NFL for the rest of December. And again, humbly stated, we're 16-9 over the last 25. That's a pretty good clip of 76% winners. And 2 of those were 10-unit plays this past weekend. They hit 68% over the last 4 years, documented across more than 4 years and across all sports. So I'm seeing the card pretty well. So if you're ever going to spend $50 to get some pretty cool information, now's the time to do it.
Absolutely. John, I also saw that you're running a special now as well. If people are interested in a lot of your 10-unit plays going into next year, I believe you also have a special you're running with that as well.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks for mentioning that, Ken. For $400, and we'll even take $100 off for these great fans from Cleveland, you can get every single 10-unit play across all sports for the entire 12-month period, $300. If you bought them separately over this past year, it would have cost you about $2,800 buying them individually. So this saves you a gauntlet of money. Well, not a gauntlet, but just a ton of money. And you can spend that on Christmas presents instead of spending it on something else. So give it a shot, and we'll see how you like it. And we're here to please. We're here to give out information and hopefully be able to profit again in 2024.
Absolutely. John, thank you for your time. Once again, listeners, John says to take Texas, maybe put a little money on them, obviously to win their contest, but to win the national championship. And then us Browns fans love to hear when our team is considered the team to take this week as they take on the Bears this coming Sunday. John, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks for having me, you guys. Have a great week, and we'll see how it's going next week.
Ted, we have some good news, and this time I'm going to read the right one.
Okay.
For a Brooklyn, New York man.
Yeah.
Wayne Murray. Is this Bill Murray's brother?
Could be. Don't know.
Here we go again with this situation. Bought a scratch-off lottery ticket from the H&A gas and convenience store and hit it for the top prize of $10 million.
Oh,
That's the good news.
okay. Is there more?
Well, the great news is that this is the second big winner Murray has bought at the store. Last year, he played a different game, and he also hit for $10 million. So here's my question.
Yes.
Why are you still playing the lottery
Yes.
if you've already won it?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Does that mean you've already spent your money?
Apparently.
All I know about myself is if I had the opportunity, and I actually do know a few people that won the lottery, they usually set themselves up pretty well, and they don't have to play the lottery again. So if you're just taking, as John Ryan would say, pizza money and throwing it out there, that's one thing. But boy, you are pretty lucky. You've now won $20 million. If your name is Wayne Murray,
Yeah.
you're pretty happy.
Well, make sure you bet with your head and not over it.
May all the wins be yours.
The most trusted name in journalism, Klopp's Clips.
All right, Ken, here we go. A
Yes.
department in northern Minnesota is using a unique recruiting technique to fill positions on its force. The town of Eli is offering $3,800 Kevlar canoes to new hires and current employees.
Oh,
The police department has one opening now and another coming soon.
wow.
So if you want a canoe, take a job as a cop in Eli.
Wow.
How about that?
That is wild.
A guest at a Paris Ritz hotel, or the Paris's Ritz hotel, filed a police report saying a diamond ring worth more than 800 grand disappeared from her room. Fear not. The ring was located 2 days later in a vacuum cleaner bag.
Oh, there it is.
How about that?
Well, it's found. We got it.
Yep. In with the trash. A very rare white leucistic alligator has been born at a reptile park in Florida. The newborn at Gatorland, Orlando, is white with blue eyes and differs from albino alligators, which have pink eyes and a total loss of pigment. This little guy is about 20 inches long, and visitors to Gatorland are being asked for name suggestions. I guess
Okay,
albino is not a name that they could. Yeah, probably not.
I'll think about a name. I'll get back to you.
Well, if it says he's leucistic, so why don't you call him Lou?
Sweet Lou.
Sweet Lou.
I love it.
Yeah.
Done.
There it is. We got it. Call off the competition.
We're
got
done.
it. A construction company in Nova Scotia used 700 bars of soap to move a former hotel built in 1826. Let me read that again, so in case you think you might.
I have a look on my face like
Yeah.
I just got punched. I need to
Yes.
hear this again.
A construction company in Nova Scotia used 700 bars of soap to move a former hotel built in 1826. The move was made to get the structure closer to the street and put it on a new foundation and then connect it to a planned apartment building. The building was pulled 30 feet across a steel frame by two excavators and a tow truck using bars of ivory soap instead of rollers. The construction company says they used ivory soap because ivory is particularly soft, making for a smooth move.
I am stunned. This is.
Marketing people on ivory better be listening.
Oh my gosh.
Clean your hands, move your buildings. Ivory soap.
From 1826.
Yes.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
You know why it's easy to move with that? Because it's 99 and 44/100% pure.
Yeah.
Could be Dove that has that. I may have just totally.
No, we're mixing them up.
advertising
It's fine.
slogan.
They got to be around. They got to be around the same purity level.
Yeah, right. Sure. Pure what? Just pure? Pure. In sports, here are some scores. 14-10, 31-28, 24-21, and 29-17.
Oh, wow.
I'm Ted Klopp. That's news to me.
Oh no, not a dad joke.
Why is the broken drum the best gift you can get?
Why?
Because you can't beat it.
That joke was horrible.
We're coming to the end of episode number 127. The next time we talk, Ken, the big guy in the red suit will have already snuck down your chimney.
Yeah, I know. You better
Are
not leave a
you-
mess.
Are you?
I got a nice place.
Yeah. Are you prepared?
Is anyone ever prepared for something?
Well, that's
You
fair.
Just gotta be ready.
My
You
wife's
can't prepare.
working
You
on
just
the-
have to be ready. You have to react.
My wife's been working on the tree for maybe a week and a half so far. It's
How's it
a
going?
fake tree, not a
Yeah.
fake tree.
Yeah.
And we add lights, so it's a little involved. She
Sure.
does that. I don't. The kids enjoy putting the ornaments on the tree.
That's nice.
Yeah. They enjoy it
nice.
even more when there's presents under the tree, but that
Of course, that's their
you know,
favorite part.
Yeah.
That's
right.
good. Well, Ted, as we move to this Christmas season, I want to say it's a complete pleasure to be doing this podcast with you. We've done this for a while. Appreciate your friendship, and I look forward to more fun and exciting stuff for 2024. We will have another podcast, but I want to make sure I told you that. And I want you to have a absolute great Christmas, and may all your wishes come true on Christmas morning.
And may all your Christmases be white. I mean, absolutely.
That's exactly
Got to
right.
have that too. Yes. Well, thank
Well,
you for your friendship and appreciate it. And looking forward to. And I say this with the most sincerity. More nonsense in the coming years.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah. Well,
Special thanks to our. Go
as a
ahead,
great
Steve.
man once told me, if it's not awkward, it doesn't feel right.
It's well said.
Yeah.
That's a good motto.
Mm-hmm.
And just like home, there's no power. So, another great quote from that same man.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to thank our guest, John Ryan, just pumping it along, giving us some great betting tips. Actually, I've already placed those bets with Texas and the Cleveland Browns. So,
Okay.
50 degrees on Sunday. Hopefully more people decide to come to the game as opposed to last week where, by the way, before the contest, you can buy tickets for $10.
Oh,
So,
well,
this week it's already 25. So people want to jump on board and be part
open air stadium. Got to have
open
it.
air.
Yeah.
Open air. Ted, thank you so much. Any final comments?
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and go Browns.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you. And just so you know, good luck. We're all counting on you. We're all counting on you. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, at episode 128, please remember, we're just two middle-aged men in Cleveland.
Two Middle-Aged Men in Cleveland is sponsored by Westminster AV, custom audio-visual packages for all occasions.
Over $1,300,000,000,300,000,000.